Give us 1 minute. So we're going to get started right now. I think it's loading. Give us one teeny tiny second. I hope everyone's doing well. I hope you are having a fantastic Monday so far. All right, let's see. I'm all ready. I think, yeah, I'm good. Hi, Michael.
Hey, Julie.
Hope everyone's having amazing Monday and had a really rested and healthy weekend. It was a fun weekend for me as well. I get to see my daughter. But there's a lot of us are doing something in life, right? So welcome to today. Today is Monday, June 12th. I didn't want to go to the 20s yet. Welcome to our chat today, our conversation with Michael, William, and I. My name is JulieNguyen. I'm coming to you from Orange County and in California. And Michael is coming to us from Canada. I just wanted to say welcome everyone for joining us today. Today is Monday, June 12th, 2023. Michael, would you like to just say hello to everyone?
Hello, everyone. Happy Monday. Trust you're all having a fantastic day. And I'm sure over the next 30 to 45 minutes, it'll be even better.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Talking about having a great day. Everything is going so beautifully. The weather is beautiful. Life is beautiful. And wanted to take this opportunity to let everyone know next Monday we will not I forgot to tell you, Michael, but we will not having the discussion like this, and then we will resume next week, a week after that. So next week we will not be here. Anyway, the topic that we wanted to talk about today, if you have already seen, we wanted to talk about something that is making a difference, right? Everything in life, every thing that we're doing in life, we are always discovering new things. As we all know, life is full of a journey of discoveries. And if we all wanted to, every single day, everything that we do, things that we say, wants to make a difference in someone else's life. And today, we are talking about making a difference in life, and especially focusing on how ONPASSIVE, as we all know, making a difference in someone's life. So what I did today was really truly looking into a little tiny research that I did, is really looking into the art of making a difference, right? We all wants to make a difference in someone's life, but there are some principles that I like to bring up here, how ones can make a difference in people's life. And those really truly go down to 4 principles. So when you want to make a difference in life, when we want to decide to make difference in lives, in someone's life, in our life, especially, do we have that self-belief that we can make a difference or not? Self-belief, it not only in our mind, in our heart, do we going there, do we have that self-belief? So self-belief is one thing. Another thing is, why do we want to make a difference? We got to find the purpose of why do we want to make a difference, okay? That's a second principle. The third principle is that, do we define clearly of what are our goals of making a difference? I think it's really truly we all need to write down. In particular, personally, for me, I do need to write down every single goals. What goals do we want to meet to make a difference in someone's life? And also, not only that, we believe, we define the goals and why we want to do it, but we got to take the actions. I think only for us, only saying it doesn't really make difference in someone's life. We'll take actions. So I think those 4 are the 4 principles that I really truly believe that if we start, when we want to make a difference in someone's life, we got to have some principles. Your thoughts on this topic, Michael?
Yes, I certainly agree with all of that, Julie. I think if people make it a way of life, right? Because it's just like everything else, right? When you want to do something, when you want to accomplish something, it is so much easier to actually do it when it is part of you, right? When it's a way of life. Just to give you an example, let's say I want to lose weight, right? As an example. It's much easier to lose the weight if everything that I'm doing is part of my life. So I'm not doing something that's out of the ordinary. I'm not doing something that is separate. But if every day I monitor what I eat, if every day I'm exercising, it becomes part of me. So I don't have to think about what I'm doing. I just do it, right? And so it's the same when you want to make a difference in someone's life. You have to make that a goal to be a part of your lifestyle. That is just something that you do all the time, right? And so if you continue to practice good, if you continue to come from a place of love, it is so much easier to believe that you certainly can make a difference in somebody's life. It's so much easier to have that why, because it's going to put a smile on somebody's face, right? You want to see people's lives transform, people's lives change. You want to see all these things, right? But if it's something that I do on a daily basis, Julie, as opposed to once in a while I make a difference in somebody's life, it's far more meaningful, and the gratitude is there, right? As a result of you, again, just make it part of you. Just, this is who I am. I'm not doing it because of this or that. This is just who I am. And it's so much easier to go through life and making a difference in so many people's lives. Much easier, Julie.
Absolutely, Michael. And as we are observing how ONPASSIVE is doing, it's a true statement when we say ONPASSIVE is making a difference, not only in the people around ONPASSIVE, but the entire world. And it all started with our CEO, Mr. Ash Mufareh. So let's talk about Mr. Ash Mufareh, how he does what he does every single day to exhibit that principle of making a difference. Let's start it with, the employees, where he referring them as his partners instead of the people that works for him. It's really truly how he is carrying in himself, how he creating a culture that has all-inclusive workplaces where everyone could have direct access to him, and he not only that, he created a culture where all people around him could show their talents, or that their talents could be recognized, and their talents are recognized on what they're doing every day. And so let's talk about our CEO, Mr. Ash Mufareh.
Sure. I think, to sum it up, Julie, he just wants people to be the best version of themselves, right? He's looking for the best. That's what we always talk about, the top, right? And so everything in ONPASSIVE is done in such a way that it is the best, right? Second isn't good enough, right? You want the best. You want to give people the best quality. You want to treat people the best way possible in all aspects of the business, right? And so this is something I believe, again, is part of who he is. This is not pretend, he's not putting on something, well, let me, fake it. This is just who you are. It is so much easier when you are yourself. And that's what he wants and expects from the employees, and for them to be themselves, right? And so when they come into ONPASSIVE, he's bringing in people who already have a certain level of confidence in their ability. They certainly have the talents, because you're getting the best of the best talent to come into work and help us, get the business going, right? And so when you do that, Julia, and you give people the freedom, right, to be able to create, right, be able to put all the products, all the tools, put everything together, and that's what he's doing. He's giving them that freedom, right? But knowing that they already have the ability, that they're already confident in what they can do. So it makes it that much easier, as opposed to having a CEO or a boss that's over your shoulder every minute. That's wouldn't be the way I would go about it. right? But exactly what he's doing by giving people the freedom, giving the team, that ability to be able to bring their talents to the table and showcase their talents, and also by making them partners in the sense of, okay, there is a vested interest in this business for you beyond just being an employee. So even from that standpoint, right? And that's what I love about ONPASSIVE, Julie, because as you go through it, you see that everything is just different, right? It's just not the same. You don't see the same things in other companies. You may have worked for a company before, and how this from the you never see the CEO. Like you just don't see that individual, right? Whoever it may be, right? Maybe once a year or something like that. But to make yourself accessible, not just to the team, but even to us as founders, brand ambassadors, etc. Again, that is something different, right? And that's how he's making a difference in the team's lives, and also making a difference in our lives by allowing us to partner with the company, right? So that we can make a difference in the rest of the world. So truly amazing individual. And I'm certainly glad to be a part of this, Julie.
Absolutely. And not only that, what you have been saying here, the one thing that I really impressed me is that he remembers everyone. Like he remember their name, special things about them. Not only that, he makes all of us feel so special in a way where the things he said to us, and then the difference. We all have been here for years, and we see how he is representing himself, expressing himself with his employees, the people that works for him, with a lot of respect. And not only that, he's pushing, like everyone, like you said, to the top, the next level of the specialties. Like he's really giving us that opportunity to express that. And as we can see, the way how he how he does it, how he runs the company, it's really a snowball effects down to each individual employees that working. And based on the products, based on the things that are happening, that we don't get to see all of them, but we can see all the partners, all the tech team are creating such a different products. That really making a difference in our life, in the people lives as well, Michael.
Well, just the fact that you have a product called Oh Bless, Julie, kind of says it all, yeah. Right? To have such a product rooted in the art of giving, rooted in the art of helping others, that says something about an individual who put that at the forefront of their mind, that they actually want to make a difference regardless of what others may think, regardless of how long it takes, regardless of the cost that it's going to take to do all this, but basically making a commitment to do it or die, so that, other people's lives can be fulfilled, dreams can be fulfilled, and to see, again, there's nothing like seeing a smile on somebody's face, Julie. Like really, like when you do something for someone and, their face, is they just light up. Like, to me, there's nothing like that, because it's pure, right? And that's what ONPASSIVE is about, creating a whole bunch of smiles all around the world, making a difference in people's lives in multiple ways, not just financially, right? But in various ways, because we've been in this company now for a number of years, Julie, and many of us can attest to the fact that our lives have changed. Many of us can attest to the fact that now we're thinking different, right? We're thinking about others, not just ourselves, right? So a lot has happened, above and beyond the financial aspects of things, because that's also important. Like life isn't just about money. We don't see people just as, oh, that's another dollar, that's another dollar. No, we see people for who they are, and that speaks volumes to how our CEO has kind of set the tone. And give us a track to run on, so again, kudos to him, Julie.
Absolutely. And also working side by side with our CEO is our COO, Mr. Engineering Mohammed Kamal. It's also another exemplary individuals that completely making a difference. I mean, watching both of them working together and see how much love and sacrifices, and they are truly making a difference in the world.
Yes, and you have to bring in that word sacrifice.
Yeah.
You know, you're given a lot of your time to this cause, right? Time away from family, late hours, you know, spending countless nights just trying to, you know, make sure things are working the way they should be, and so on. So, you know, certainly the two of them work, you know, well together among other staff. You know, when we see like Dr. Susan, again, out there, you know, doing her thing, you know, to spread the word about ONPASSIVE and to see the reception, right? To see how it's being received by so many that's out there, and they want to be a part of ONPASSIVE, and, you know, however they can see themselves fit in. Again, it just says that we're doing something right, Julie. We're doing something the right way, and I'm glad to see that, because that's what I was looking for. Not just another company. You know, you wanted a company that's going to, you know, stand above the others, a company that's going to correct a lot of the corruption that we know that exists in society and prevalent in businesses such as this. You know, so it's good to see, you know, and I really love that fact, as you said, that we can work side by side with the CEO, you know, to make sure that we fulfill everything that we have said, right? And we're certainly getting there.
Yes, and all that of what we are seeing between our COO, our CEO, and the staff and the team, really a compound effect that affecting us as early adopters as well. We all get to see that in the past years, and here we are together, 1.4 million or 2 million people now in the company, truly could make a ripple effect in the entire world. And let's talk a little bit about us as the early adopters at the O Founders community. How have we been doing to make a difference in someone else's life? And I think that's something that, to me, I feel that is the power, that is the ability for me to be able to know that I can make a difference in someone's life. Your thought on that, Michael?
Yeah, well, it all started with a few, Julie, right?
Yeah.
It started with the first set of individuals who decided to get involved and lock arms with Mr. Mufareh. And from there, it started to spread, because as I shared information about ONPASSIVE with others, you know, you're basically thinking of people whom, you know, how can this person benefit from being a part of this? You know, what are they going to gain from it? You know, why would I want to introduce them to a business, you know, such as this? So all these thoughts come together. And so when you're out there introducing people, right, in the back of your mind, you know, the number one reason why I'm introducing this to you is because I know it's going to make a difference in your life, your family's life, right? And anyone that's connected to you, right? Because down the road, Julie, we'll be in a position where we can employ others, right? We can create our own business as a result of ONPASSIVE, and we can employ others, right? So it doesn't mean that every single person has to come into ONPASSIVE, not at all. It doesn't mean that every single person has to become a founding member, not at all, right? But with those who saw the mission, the vision, understood it, jumped in, and now here comes the ripple effect, right? You go from 1.4 million to 2 million to 5 million to 10 million, and you start to spread out as more and more customers will come in and utilize the products and tools that we have to offer. And at the same time, you're going to have those who choose to be resellers and be able to benefit financially from this juggernaut of a company that we will have. You know, so it's going to be that ripple effect, Julie, because I see that. I see down the road having hundreds of millions of customers in ONPASSIVE, and that just means that a lot of people are getting true value from products that are currently in the marketplace, but they're getting true value from it. No longer will they have to pay skyrocketing prices. No longer will companies have to pay, you know, these huge prices for service that doesn't really cost that much, you know, but because I can put a big price tag on something, right, I do it, right? And that's the mindset of a lot of companies that are out there, right? But when you give true value to people, they're going to be with you forever, Julie. They're going to stay with you. And that's what we're going to see in the coming weeks and months.
Absolutely. Michael, when you talking about sharing what you love to other people, what you're saying here is, nowadays in life, we are experiencing this. When you're sharing something to someone, the question people tend to have in mind, what's it gonna do for me? Right? Even us who sharing it, we when we share something to someone, we're like, do we looking at them as a target going to do something for us, or do we actually truly sharing of saying, I'm going to make a difference in your life, I don't need your effort to do, I want to give you that power to do that. Nowadays people always say, what's in it for me, right? We actually need to scratch that part out. What's in it for me, but what in it for you, the person I'm sharing it to. And the person who receiving that opportunity should always say, if I do something, does it gonna make you something? So that mentality, I think that mindset needs to be changed, whether or not you are a listener or you are a person wanting to make a difference in lives, because we tend to do that. Because it's kind of like it's engraving in us. When we sharing something to people, our target is, will that person's going to be able to do something good for me or not? So I think that part, that mental part, that mindset needs to be changed too, Michael.
Absolutely, because we've been conditioned to think that way, Julie, right? Based upon our past experience, right? Based upon our exposure to other companies, businesses, etc., right? But for me, right, I know that I can get as many customers as I want. There is no limit to the amount of customers that I can personally, go out there and secure. So I don't need to share the business side of it with anyone, thinking, okay, what can they do for me, etc. Right? Because I know that I have the ability, I'm confident in my ability to be able to sell, to be able to introduce the products that we have to offer to customers, right? So based upon that, Julie, what others that we share the business with, what they choose to do with it, that's up to them, right? But the bottom line is I agree with you that they need to wipe it away from their mind, because at the end of the day, it's all about customers, 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 right? And so if someone joins us tomorrow, right, and they decide to, use the company's tools, use the company's automated process, et cetera, right, to generate as much customers as possible, then it's a complete win-win for them, right? Irrespective of whether they joined us 2 years ago, 3 years ago, et cetera, right? It just depends on the person's mindset and how confident they are about themselves and how confident they are about our business based upon the model, right? So we do have a model whereby people can simply come in, right, and have the process automated for them using the latest AI technology, right? And that's how they can secure as many customers as they so choose, right? So it's a complete win-win for people. So ONPASSIVE is something that is totally different. It is not that same old, well, I got to recruit you and then you got to recruit Tom and so on and so forth. And based upon that, that's how I'm going to earn money and all of this. It's all about customers. So here I am, me by myself, and I decide to go and get 1,000 customers, Julie. Okay, I'm winning, right? Because I'm generating commission every time someone purchases a product, right? And that's what you want. That's what's lasting, right? That's where the longevity comes in. And that's why we see companies that are out there that are selling products month after month, year after year, right? What do they do, Julie? They just, oh, got a new iPhone. So guess what? People are lined up ready to buy it. Okay, so here comes ONPASSIVE. That's going to have more products and more products and more products for people to be lined up ready to buy. We already have 2 million customers in waiting, Julie, for paid products. Yes, they can share in their free products now, but there will be paid products. So everything this company is doing is different, right? And that's what's going to help make the difference in people's lives.
And ONPASSIVE does such an amazing job in identify the needs of the consumers, right? Based on what they are creating. And it's really amazing when our CEO said, whatever that you need will be in ONPASSIVE, and whatever you don't find in ONPASSIVE, it's not what you need. It's really amazing. On the recent clip that I actually posted in this channel, if anyone who's watching this, you can go through the channel. I posted a video yesterday where Mr. Ash Mufareh literally describing why ONPASSIVE was created and the 4 pillars of ONPASSIVE. And I think this is just a conversational that I put out there. But when he discussed about, the 4 pillars, I think that is what people need. The 4, ONPASSIVE just focusing on the needs of the consumer. And I think that does say a lot, and that does make a big difference in our life. It's just focusing on what people need. Not doing extra. We spend thousands of dollars to buy a phone, but do we actually use all the function that it's on the phone or not? So I think focusing on the consumer's needs is truly important. And we don't need to make it extra. We just need it focusing on what needs and what needs to be done, and the pricing, it just perfectly fit the customer's pocket also.
Absolutely. A lot of times there's a lot of fluff that, not just with words, but also in products, right? So you get all these bells and whistles, but do you ever use them? It's like you buy a car and there's all these different features, all these different gadgets that it comes with. And do you ever use them? And for most people, they don't, just like with the phone, right? I mean, yeah, I have a phone, but I'm sure there's a lot of features on there that I certainly don't use, but this is all the stuff that they give you. And then, of course, you're paying for it. So even though you're not using it, you're still paying for it, right? It's like the other day, Julie, we went somewhere, and the hotel that we stayed at, they have a water park and all this other fancy stuff. And, whether you use it or not, Julie, you're paying for it, right? And I'm like, okay, but why not just give me what I want, though? I'm not going to go to the water park. I'm not going to be doing this. My schedule's too busy to be able to enjoy all of the other stuff. So why can't you just charge me what I'm actually using? But no, they bill it and say, here you go, you got 4 tickets, all this fancy stuff. And I'm like, okay, but I didn't need all that stuff, though. But I have to pay for it, And so it's the same thing. We see it time and time again in society. That they give us so much, but I didn't ask you for all of that, though. Yeah, it doesn't matter, but you're going to pay for it, though. And so here's the difference in that just give people what they need. The consumer says, I want A, B, C. Okay, if you do decide to give them, D, E, and F, right? So additional stuff, but you shouldn't charge them for it, though, right? And that's adding value, Julie. That's where value comes in. Where you're giving them actually more without charging them more, right? But what most companies do, right, is they give you more, but they're charging you for more. And you said, but I didn't ask for more, So that's a big difference in ONPASSIVE. And so I love the value approach that the company's taken.
Absolutely, absolutely. And really, it's exhibit through the actions that ONPASSIVE taking, giving you 3 free products, the 3 products that you actually can use every day in life, right? And for the paid product, giving us the chance to actually test it, drive it, use it first before we make the purchase. And I think that is really one of the goal of making a difference in people's life. I believe that is one of the definite goal that ONPASSIVE wants to make, is to make difference in people's life. So let's go back to us as early adopters. To me, Michael, I've always, when I have conversations with someone who don't know about ONPASSIVE, I usually ask them a question, how's your business? Or if they are a business owner or an individual, what are your goals? What are you looking for? And I try to identify, right, the problems or the things that they are facing in life. And then I do know I have a very powerful solutions on my hand, which is ONPASSIVE, and I'll be able to match them up together. What's your thought on that? Because there's so many of us, we just go out there and we talk about ONPASSIVE, we talk about the great things, but we really don't listen to what the other party is looking for. And so I think that is something that we wanted to bring that up here. because we do have friends that are in non-passive, or the people
Sure.
that are not in non-passive even listening. And you can see when you have the conversation with us, you'll see what is our goal is. Our goal is to totally making a difference in your life.
I mean, for me, Julie, the art of selling is to sell without selling, right? And so, if you take the approach that you just mentioned, right? So basically, you're fact gathering, right? You're getting information from the individual that you're approaching, the individual that you're speaking to. You're finding about them, seeing, what's their desire, what's their want, what's their need, right? Find out all that, and then you see if what you have to offer is a solution for what they're faced with, right? As opposed to, no, here you go, take it. You know what I mean? Like you force it upon the person. It's like, yeah, but I don't need that though. I'm good. I'm not looking for anything. I'm in a good place. Leave me alone, right? So there's a difference in the two, right? And when we talk about, when you go into a car sales, a car dealership, and that the old salesperson, meaning years ago salesperson, they just want to just sell you anything, and they don't care whether you need it or not. I remember there's a time when somebody tried to sell me a vacuum that could suck up a bowling ball. Now, when in the world would I ever need to suck up a bowling ball? Why would I need it? You know what I mean? But that was a sales pitch, right? So to me, to take the approach whereby your client, right? Your customer, potential customer, right? And see if there's a fit. And when you take that approach, Julie, you have a much better and a long-lasting relationship, than when it's just, let's just throw it out there and just get whoever I can and whoever jumps in. And that's just the old way of doing things. I think we can be a little bit more personal. We can take a better approach. And then you have, like I said, a lasting, you want that sale to be lasting, right? You want that person to be happy, to be satisfied, because that's what it's about, especially in this day and age where people are quick to jump ship. If they're not happy about something, oh, I'm gone. I'm not happy with my phone provider, I'll just move on to the next one, and so on, right? So, that's not what you want to do. You certainly want to, find out from people, get their opinions, see what they're thinking, see what they're going through. Maybe they're going through some stuff, and maybe ONPASSIVE is that perfect solution for them. I mean, we know what's going to happen in the future, Julie. That every single person on this planet, there will be at least one thing. Now, maybe not two, maybe not three, but there'll be at least one thing, one product that everyone will want to use, will need to use. So we know what is to come, but in the interim, there's a lot that we can do by trying to understand people, and not just force things down their throat. Give them the information, let them decide for themselves what they want. Let them sell themselves, right? If you want to use that term, right? Because that's basically what it is. It's like being in a relationship, Julie. You meet someone, okay, let the person, sell themselves. That's the why they want to be with you, right? Rather than you, well, I'm this, I'm that, I'm blah, 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 and all this fancy stuff. And the person's like, really? You know what I mean? But, if you, let them sell themselves, it's a better sale. Okay, it's a better fit, right? Things tend to last when they actually made that decision, willfully, voluntarily, and not being coerced or forced or deceived or any of those types of things, right? And it's just the same with their business, Julie. Absolutely.
It's the same thing with relationship. When you meet someone, you're not going to get married the next day, right? You got to take time.
Some do, Julie. Some do. Where are they today? But anyway.
That's why it doesn't last. You got to get to know it. And I think it's really, truly coming down. What is your intention, right? Do you have an intention to change someone's life? Do you have an intention to bring something really good to them? Or do you have intention just to have them do something for us, for ourselves when we do share? So I think it's really coming down to having a good intention. Michael, please take the mic because it's really noisy.
No problem.
Go ahead. But I wanted to bring up that point, having the intention.
Yeah, garbage truck is probably coming at this time. That's okay. Yeah, I mean, we should be have a servant mindset, is probably how I would put it. You know, where you're trying to serve others, you're trying to see what you can do for others, whether there's any reward in it for you or not, right? And again, if you make that a way of life, right? If you try to do that in all aspects of your life, right, regardless of the situation, to me, you come out as a winner, right? You know, person may not thank you, but down the road, you know, they could have told a million people, you know, what you've done for them. You know what I mean? And so on, right? And you never know that one random kind act that you did for someone, and how that may springboard into that person turn around and paying it forward and all these other things. You just never know. So that's why, to me, you just always try to do good in everything that you do, and then you live with whatever the results is. You know what I mean? And so within our business, it's the same thing. You know, if you honestly feel that ONPASSIVE can make a difference in somebody's lives, then absolutely share it with that person. You know, but you know, you have to have that that belief, that self-belief that you mentioned earlier. Right? You have to have that. You have to be confident in what you have to offer, right? You know, again, going back to a relationship, Julie, you don't come to a relationship and you're wishy-washy, where you're not sure about yourself. You know, you don't know why it's a good fit. You know, but oh boy, yeah, but I want you to be with me though. You know what I mean? It doesn't make any sense. You know, you certainly you need confidence, right? And the only way to get confidence is through experience, right? And so we've had a lot of experience, Julie, and even within ONPASSIVE, we've seen the progress. Because we've immersed ourselves in the process, so we see what's going on. You know, we're not sitting back there waiting for some. Oh, can you give me an update, please? What's the latest? What's the this? No, we're finding these things out for ourselves because we are immersed in the business, right? And so when you have that confidence, Julie, it speaks volume, and people see it, and people want to connect with you because that's what resonates with them, right? You know, not somebody says, well, I'm in this business called ONPASSIVE, I'm not quite sure what's going to happen, but if you want to come in, sure, here's my link. You know what I mean? Who's going to join you, right? So it makes a big difference. And as I said, we know that ONPASSIVE will make a difference in people's lives. There's no doubt whatsoever, like none, not even, you know, 0.11%. Like there's just none, right? As far as making a difference in people's lives. And so, you know, when people start to receive that, Julie, you know, then, you know, they'll be able to take their confidence to the next level. But it's coming. It's going to happen. You know, ONPASSIVE is your next stop, whether you like it or not, actually, because it's going to be in your face, Julie, right? Okay. It's going to go viral. It's going to be in your face. So you will have no choice, really, but to pay attention to it. At least take a look, right? And then if it's not for you, it's not for you, right? No problem. But we have something here that is great, and it's good to know that there is hope for so many, for millions upon millions upon millions of people around the world, Julie, because, you know, hope is fading, right? Hope is fading. So many people have given up on life itself, right? Because they don't think they have a chance to win, you know, but here comes a company that's actually given them a chance. It's a gift, right? They're giving them a gift of a chance to actually make a difference, not just in their lives, but their children's lives, all those around them, you know, and for generations to come. So can't wait, Julie.
It's all will come down to is, do you have a self-belief? Do you have a self-belief that ONPASSIVE will transform not only our life, but our wealth? It's going to be transform the entire world. Do we have that belief? And how we do it every single day, it's based on what we believe, how we believe in what we are doing. And I think the homework for all of us today is, you know, examine ourselves. You know, do we have that self-belief that ONPASSIVE will literally transforming our life or not? And then once it does that, what are we going to do? Are we going to put our goals to make a difference in someone's life. So I think this is kind of, we can end it at this point here, is truly focusing on the 4 principle of self-belief and how do we transform from our relationship with ONPASSIVE, and from that, the relationship with other people around us. Are we making a difference in someone's life? Final word, Michael?
Well, it's the name of the game, Julie. You know, I think when you set out in life to always do your best, you know, you can live with yourself, right? You know, I've done my best. I've done all that I could. I left it out there. You know, you're able to live with the result. You know, and that's what this is. It's just another phase. You know, having been in ONPASSIVE now, ONPASSIVE itself has become a way of life, Julie. You know, every day there's something to do with ONPASSIVE, like every day. There's something, you know, and so I think that, you know, it makes you not having to think, you know what I mean? You just act, right? You're not thinking about it, you just do it. You don't have to, you know, think to find the words just come, because it is a way of life. It's just like breathing air, right? You don't think about it. You know, it's like, okay, where can I get the next breath from? You know what I mean? You just do it. You know, it's like walking. You just walk. You don't, okay, you know, right foot, left foot. You're not thinking about it. You just do it, right? And so that's what ONPASSIVE has become for us, right? Is that we just do ONPASSIVE, because now ONPASSIVE is now fully immersed itself into our lives. And as a result, we'll be able to impact other people's lives, because that's who we are, you know. And if we weren't that way prior, as I said before, many have become such, Julie, whereby they're actually looking now to see, okay, what can I do? Who can I help? You know, how can I go about doing it? You know, people are thinking that way now, and that's part of that transformation. That's part of being able to make a difference, because you have to be able to start thinking about these things now and see clearly how you'll be able to help others, you know. And so if we're paying attention, Julie, you know, a lot of ideas should be popping into our heads of what we can do. But yeah, ONPASSIVE will make a difference in millions upon millions of people around the globe. And I'm glad to be a part of that movement, for sure.
Absolutely. Thank you, everyone. ONPASSIVE is a new normal. Let's all of us go out there and make a difference in everyone's life, one person at a time, and we can do that. Thank you so much, everyone, for joining us today. Thank you, Michael. Always have great conversations with you. And God bless everyone. Please enjoy your week. And as a reminder, I will be floating on the ocean somewhere next week, so we won't have this conversation next week, but we will see you in the following week. Take care, everyone. Take care, Michael. Thank you.